I've been playing doubles ORAS with Sun recently, and I've come to a conclusion about the EV spreads and movesets of the two main stars being Venusaur and Megazord Y. This is the standard set, though they tend to run Giga Drain instead of Leaf Storm. I don't like this set at all. I don't like Sleep Powder. I don't like Leaf Storm as an alternative. I don't really like Giga Drain overall, and the speed tier is awful. This is benchmarked to just outrun Adamant Scarf Lando under the sun, and that's a big problem because Heatran Modest at full is 253. You only go up to 232. So one of your biggest problems being Heatran, who could already have a sub up to block Sleep Powder, could have already absorbed Heat Wave, shut out of luck, don't have Focus Blast, don't have HP Ground, it can just come in for free on you. I do not like that. If Sun's out, you're fucked. I do not like this spread, and I don't like not having HP Ground on it. Venusaur should be able to take out Heatran. It's not really a lore, it's not a secret, but Hidden Power Ground is often not used, and it's one of the best options for taking out one of the biggest problems to your team, or to your core rather. Your team, if you have Sun, is most definitely going to have Landorus on it. Maybe Assault Vest Landorus, maybe Scarf, yeah. And that can take care of Heatran any day of the week, that's not a problem. But I don't like that to do that, you'd have to already have Landorus in, or you have to send Landorus out of Venusaur or Charizard slot and have him come in and take Heat Wave damage in the sun from fucking Modest Heatran, hits like a truck, which means you also have to then block with Venusaur, which means you're wasting another turn of sun, and I don't even know how well Assault Vest Landorus can take a Heat Wave like that. It's a waste of health, a turn. One of your pivots is supposed to protect Charizard with Intimidate. I just think it's an awful option. So I do not think this set's good. I would never use it. I don't like Leaf Storm either. It's overkill. It doesn't really nab that many important OHKOs. I can't even think of any. Whereas Energy Ball can OHKO something like Rotom, Wash, and it has the potential to KO Politoed, which is another big problem for Sun. You do about 91 to 107, and that's a good 43% chance, so any kind of chip and it can do it in. So I just think this is the only good Venus set. This benchmark is awful, never run it. Leaf Storm's awful, don't run it. And that brings me to Charizard next. I don't like Overheat, and I don't really like Fire Blast. Overheat because it's overkill. The only important thing it can really do is like cleanly KO a Landorus, which is a good calc, but I'm not keeping this thing in against fucking Landorus, which is also an issue for the stat spread. You can benchmark it to live half the time, under half the time with Rock Slide, which is trash. That is very poor expected value. You are not going to get your bang for your buck out of that. I would never keep him in there. And they have one where you can live by 1%, which is also shit. You're assuming that you're just going to have that much out. I do not like these like splitting hairs, like emergency stats or emergency EV spreads that are supposed to save you from this kind of stuff. I just can't run that stuff, man. And it weakens up your flamethrower by a lot. It puts your speed tier to 263, which means like even if this is Assault Vest Landorus, you still can't outspeed it, and it's still gonna get you. Yeah, it can take your hit. You can't do shit about it. I don't like that either. Whereas if you go to Timid, you can still only do half to it, but you can outspeed it, which means if you've clipped enough of its health with, say, Venusaur or any other teammate, you can take him out. So don't rely on these, damn spreads that let you live a blow from your greatest enemy that's going to kill you anyways. It's never worth it. It's the risk reward of the situation to begin with is awful, and you have to have your HP up high enough to live it anyways. Now, that's where things like -1 come into play, which is still good. You know, that's easy to rely upon. If you have Charizard, you still have Landorus in your party. And you can switch them in and out to take that, which means you can come back in, flamethrower, yada yada. But I just don't find it to be worth it. Heat Rain's such a big problem that you need to have HP ground on Venu to take care of it, which still isn't a guaranteed Oko, by the way. Only 37% chance. You still gotta soften them up. Heat Wave in the sun, of course, will kill you, but I'd rather chunk all that health than try to sleep powder it, and if I miss, he's either killing me or getting up a substitute, and both of those are horrible events. So I do not like these spreads. They're shit. Never run them. I really just think that max speed Charizard's the best option. And like they benchmark it to hit 263, which is that lets you outspeed base 70 speed Pokemon like Breloom. I have not seen a Breloom in ages. This like meme about speeding 70 base Pokemon, it just doesn't work out in the end. Like times have changed. But these are also old articles written way back when. You can't always rely upon the Smogon pages for this. It's better to go to the forums most of the time. But anyways, that's all.